My brothers and sisters, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have a ban list discussion. Which cards are gonna be banned, limited, semi-limited, and which ones should be freed from the ban list, I guess. But before starting, I would like to point out that it's gonna be a full discussion, so you skipping the video to the end and just seeing what I put in the forbidden, limited and semi-limited and comment in the comment section of YouTube saying stupid stuff is gonna trigger me. So watch the video entirely, because I'm gonna talk about every card, every strategy, right?
Nash, this is not a ban list. This is a wish list.
Shut the fuck up and watch the entire video and give me a view. Anyways, so now let's move on to the ban list prediction. Let's talk about Snash. Snash is insane, and we already saw what happened during the OCG ban list, like put Snash to semi-limited section. I'll be real with you guys, that shit doesn't make any sense. Very slightly hits the consistency of the deck, but doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to do something to Snash, you're gonna put it at 1. That's what a TCG it should be. Let's talk about Kirin. The OCG, I think it put it to 2. There is also new Fire King stuff that's gonna come out. I don't think anything is gonna happen to Kirin. I don't think they're gonna hit Kirin. It could be a possible hit. And Kirin to 1 is actually okay. Like, it's actually super playable Kirin to 1. But we also have other Fire King stuff that's gonna come out. So, if I wanna be realistic, I don't think they're gonna hit Kirin at all. In my wish list, I also don't wanna get Kirin hit.
Tier 0 format. Tier 0 format. Kirin at 1.
Shut the fuck up. Give me a view and don't complain about Kirin. Let's talk about Calamity. Now, Calamity obviously like involves toxic gameplay, but it was not banned when actually it could have been good. Why would it be banned now? Yes, Centurion basically like abused of the Hot-Red Archfiend King Calamity strategy, but like I don't think this card like poses a threat right now. I think the card is like obviously toxic, but not as toxic as it deserves to be banned right now. I think it can stay right now, maybe in the future, might be it. But right now, I don't see any real threat from this card. Okay, now let's talk about Floodgates. And there is, what's gonna happen is they're gonna limit, like most likely, they're gonna limit like anti-spell and summon limit to 1. The issue with those hits is the fact that they are searchable. They are searchable summon limit, anti-spell, rivalry. There can be only 1. Like they are all searchable actually. Cause of Pharaonic Advent. Let's talk about this card for a second and why it's gonna be super playable in the future. Gains 300 attack for each continuous trap on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Pharaonic Advent once per turn. You can tribute 1 monster special summon this card from your hand. You can tribute 1 fairy, fiend, or reptile monster. Add 1 continuous trap from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. Well, if you guys were looking at like the new cards that we're gonna get like in the near future, like Finchmeat, and also this card combos with runic cards, you might have realized that this card is basically multiple copies of the Floodgates that you guys might want to play. So, if summon limit gets to 1, you just put in the side 3 Pharaonic Advent, and if you're playing a runic strategy with something maybe like Runic Snake Eye, or if you're playing something like Finchmeat with another engine, you might see how limiting the Floodgates still poses a threat to a possible, like very unhealthy format. So, is limiting the floodgates correct? What Konami is gonna do is most likely limiting them to 1, which is the most realistic option right now. That's not gonna solve anything. Did I spoiler this card making this threat even more realistic? Yes, I did. Did I possibly ruin the format? Yes, I did. Am I hoping for Konami to watch this video and maybe like find a solution to this by banning actually the floodgates? Yes, I did. The solution in my wish list would be banning those floodgates. Realistically speaking, they are gonna limit those to 1. So Pharaonic Advent obviously is not gonna be included in the ban list, but like it was just something to discuss about. Skill Drain, I don't think Skill Drain actually poses a threat right now. I don't think Skill Drain is a toxic. I don't think Skill Drain is toxic at all, to be honest. I think Skill Drain like is probably the most fair floodgate right now, if that makes sense. Like you can still play under it, you can play around it. Check out how many like monsters tribute itself for cost and they still work under Skill Drain. Like if I have to ban something, would it be Power Sinkstone? And you guys are gonna think, Nash, what about Power Sinkstone? This card is genuinely crazy. Like you use it against Lab, like in Lab, and it's actually crazy. Because like it's basically Skill Drain. It's not Skill Drain, sorry, Mystic Mind. This card is crazy. Like if you played the Master to a run, and you played against a Labyrinth deck with Power Sinkstone, you would know what I'm talking about. Would they realize how powerful is gonna be Power Sinkstone in the future? Probably not. So again, this is not my wish list. But like it's a very powerful floodgate anyways. But it's not as strong as the one that we have right now. So I think it's gonna be right now fine to not go for this card, I guess. I don't know. I like they're not for sure not gonna do anything about that. So I think like the most toxic one right now are anti-spell and summon limit. And we would be already lucky if they like deal actually with those. Skill Drain, I don't think it matters. Like I think there are way worse floodgate than Skill Drain. For example, RP Featherstorm. RP Featherstorm is definitely a floodgate that it's used currently by Flanderies. That's a very powerful one. Because if you think about it, when we wanna hit the Flander deck, we're not gonna hit the Flander deck. We're gonna hit cards that are played by the Flander deck in order to make this game unfair. And RP Featherstorm is one of them. Like it promotes unhealthy game states. Like we are trying to have this game on like a basic skill. Like we want to have a basic skill base, right? And cards like RP Featherstorm do not promote this kind of gameplay. So, talking about that, I think the card definitely should be banned. Should be banned 100%. It cannot be limited because they search it with trust. So if you really want to do something, you should definitely ban this card. Okay, Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion is definitely an issue right now. Branded Fusion is being splashed in decks that are not branded. And it provides an extra interruption, actually extra 2 interruption most likely. Like Jade, maybe something to get off Jade. Like even a Lubellion line for Voiceless Voice. Like those things you don't really want to deal with. Like Branded Fusion being able to summon Sanctifier and by sending Jogan, it's something you don't want to really deal with. They might limit Branded Fusion. It is a possibility. It is a possibility right now. But like maybe there is also the chance that they might not gonna hit it and they might just Sanctify. I think it's most likely the fact that they are gonna Sanctify instead of Branded Fusion. So I would say that Branded Fusion is gonna be fine for this ban list, but Sanctifier should go. I think Sanctifier is what promotes unhealthy game states, while Branded Fusion right now is not a threat at all. Kit Kalos. I heard a lot of people that want this card back. Tier Elements is still good right now. Like, it's not like tier 0 stuff, tier 1 stuff. And everyone, like, is screaming, like, free my sis Kit Kalos. I do see your point, but trust me, you don't want that to happen. Because the same people that are gonna say free Kit Kalos because I'm gonna be the only rogue player that's gonna play this deck, they do not realize how broken is Tier Element. Like, I don't wanna be in an idle format, because now all the cards are limited, so there is no consistency. It's gonna be gamble. Like, I don't wanna gamble, bro. And Tier Element is strongest still for a reason. Like, it's actually still an okay deck to play right now. If you give them Kit Kalos, shit is over. Like, it's literally over. Like, we are talking about the deck that plays through Entrops, ends on an impossible board to break. Like, and it's not healthy, in my opinion. Talking about cards that maybe might be freed. Masterpiece, Wookers. To be honest, like, I don't really care about having Masterpiece back. Like, fine. Fine, we're gonna get Masterpiece back, Wookers. Like, it's totally fine. I might not care less, to be honest. Sure, give me this card back, it's fine. Gamma, talking about Gamma, many people want this card back. Personally speaking, I don't want this card back for one simple reason. Because then I have to play 3 Gamma, 1 Driver. And Driver is always in my hand. There were not one instance in which I didn't draw Driver. So personally speaking, I want this card limited. And I think it might still be limited. I think it's fine to keep this card limited, to be honest. But personally speaking, I don't want this card back because then I have to play. And if I have to play, I know that I'm gonna draw the Driver, bro. I know it. Like it's bound to happen. Multiple times. So I think this card, like, can stay limited. Like, I might not care less. Major Spectre Kirin. Kirin can be back at 3. No issues at all with this card. Tidal can be back at 1. Sure, like, let's put it back. Like, there might be some possible issues that I don't think are real, related to, like, End Rip Mermail, End Rip Water decks. Just give them like another start, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. For Electromite, I was always against this card. If you know me, you would know that I think this card is very, very good. But there is the Melodious stuff that's gonna come out very soon. So this might be actually possibly be back. This is probably, like, if this card does not come back now, it's never gonna come back, to be honest. Like, if it does not come back now, there is no way, like, it's gonna come back in the future. Because now we have the Melodious stuff that's gonna hit the TCG very soon. If you don't do it now, if they don't do it now, you can stop praying about it, to be honest. I'm gonna put it at 1 because I think the Melodious stuff needs more support, and, like, this card actually makes it good. Eevee Storm, limited. Meow Meow. Sure, why not? Let's put it back to 1. Prosperity, limited 100%. This card is broken. This card is broken. This card is genuinely broken. And also, like, it makes no sense if you eat Ash and you don't eat Prosperity, I'm gonna play Prosperity over Ash. Like, it's gonna be fine. Talent, I'm a huge hater of this card. In my wish list, this card would have been banned. Like, during every ban list, I always call about triple tactical talent that should be banned. There is a reason behind it. It's not because, like, you feel the pressure about talent. There are entraps format, there are obviously board breaker format. The issue about talent is it causes a switch during the format every time. It causes, like it's very weird how this card affects entire metas. An entrap format suddenly becomes a board breaker or a mixed format because of this card alone. Like, we cannot have a consistent format because of this card. So, to be honest, I think, personally speaking, this card should have never been printed, personally speaking. But I know that Konami is not gonna care about it. So, to be honest with you, even though I do think that this card should not be in the game, because it causes a very weird rotation of the format every time, and it's all cause of this card, people don't really feel the pressure. It's weird to understand, because people don't really feel the pressure of this card being in a format, because, like, the format entirely changed in terms of board breakers, entrap, and the mix. But this card is what causes it. Like, you cannot play a consistent entrap format because of this card. You cannot play a consistent board breaker format because of people switching back on entraps. And this card causes, like, switches in between those every time. But this card is broken. This card has literally, like, 3 effects that should not be in the game. That's another story. I guess, like, nothing is gonna happen to it. I'm just a huge hater. Talking about Fontaine, it is the issue. The issue is that Runic is a deck made to win on time. Runic is that deck that if you don't know how to manage time, you're gonna lose it. Like, you are genuinely gonna lose a game because of it. Like, you're gonna lose a match because your opponent is gonna win on time regardless. Like, you cannot lose game 1 against Runic because game 3 is gonna be on time. Like, for everyone who experienced playing against Runic, they know what I'm talking about. Runic should be eaten in a way. And I think Fontaine should be 2-1. To be honest. I genuinely think that Fontaine should be 2-1. Are they gonna eat Fontaine? I think they should eat Fontaine, so I'm gonna put it to 1. Tip, I guess it's fine to keep it. But, like, Fontaine, in my opinion, should be to 1. Misk definitely, like Konami, like my brother and sisters in the Konami headquarters. Like, everyone knows it. You know it. Misk should be back at 2. Give me the Misk. Give me the Dino power, Dino DNA, my brother. We need it. Like, it does not really affect, like, it's gonna be okay as a deck. It's gonna be an okay deck. Come on, let's be real for a second. Let's talk high to high, my brothers and sisters. Like, let's go. Let's do it. Misk at 2. It's not that big of a deal. All we wanna do is pop the baby. Misk back at 2. Misk back at 2 is gonna be definitely nice. For Super Polymerization, we all thought that Super Polymerization was gonna be very, very good during this format. But, like, Super Polymerization, it's like, it actually was mid. But it's a very powerful board breaker going second. But it didn't pose actually a threat during this format, in my opinion. I think even though Super Polymerization was decently good this format, it actually did not pose a threat. For some weird reason, it actually, like, didn't actually pose, like, a strong threat. Because, like, we were so... In my opinion, it's because the OCG, like, kept busting this card up. So all the TCG player started, like, building combo lines that, like, inherently plays around Super Poly, which made this card fell off. Even Branded is not even playing Super Poly. Like, I saw all the regional top in Italy with Branded. Like, there were actually 2 regional that was won by Branded. They were not playing Super Poly in the main deck. Because everyone is inherently playing around it because of the OCG busting this card up. So, Super Polymerization is not an issue right now. It's definitely a very strong card. But if it doesn't pose a threat, Konami is not gonna hit it. So, realistically speaking, even though this card is super powerful, they are not gonna hit it. So I'm trying to be realistic on what I think Konami might do, so I cannot actually hit this card. My boy Pancratops. My boy Pancratops. Back at 3? What's up? It's already at 2. Back at 3? Maybe no. I think it's fine at 2, to be honest. I'll be real with you. I think the card is fine at 2. We don't need another, like, we don't need it at 3. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Shifter. Are we gonna follow the OCG route and put it at 2? Nah. I don't think this is gonna be a not topic. And someone might call me crazy. The thing about Shifter... The thing about Shifter is it's basically our Maxi. If Maxi balances the format in the OCG, Shifter balances the format in the TCG. So I think it's a card that kinda like keep on his toes every combo deck. So it's not gonna be it. Do I hate the card? Obviously. Like, do I feel like this card balances the format? I do think so, to be honest. Do I think this card should be hit in a way? Maybe semi-limited, but I don't think it makes very sense. Like, a lot of sense, to be honest. I think, like it's probably fine at 3. Like, it's fine at 3 because, like, the real issue about Flounder is not even, like, Shifter. Right now, in my opinion, like, it's RP Featherstone. I think it's a necessary evil if you think about it. Like, it's something that you don't want it to happen to you. But it's probably better if you have this card in the format instead of now. Because otherwise it's gonna be always the same deck. There are no different strategy. There are not, like you wanna have... Like, people playing different, like you want people to be able to play different decks. And Shifter is this card that makes those decks that are not really favored in a format being playable. So you wanna you wanna make those rogue players happy. Because rogue players is what gonna bring monies to the company. And we also have to think about that. Like, I do think the most skilled format are the formats in which you have only 3 decks. But I also think that the most enjoyable formats are the ones that have multiple decks. So there is Terror Top. Terror Top is free to go back to 3. I think it's a fine card. I don't see any issue with that. Talking about Crossout, I think Crossout should be at 1. Yeah, I'm limiting a lot of cards here, to be honest. Like, for sure they are not gonna hit the Fountain, I think. They're not gonna do it. And they maybe are not gonna hit Tidal. I'm limiting too many cards. It's not gonna happen. Like, for example, Meow Meow, Tidal. Like, they are not even gonna think about it. So, I think Crossout is very unhealthy right now for the game. I think, like, we hit the point in which Crossout is actually super broken. And that might be an issue. That might be a big issue, to be honest. I don't wanna I don't like Crossout. I don't like Crossout. I really dislike the card. Like, it's another of those cards. Like, people should play around entraps. They should not have answer to entraps, like instant answer to entraps. That's what I think about it. I think you should enhance the skill of a player by him being able to play around an entrap instead of having like a direct answer to it, like Called by the Grave or Crossout. I think that's how the game should move forward. Having people being skilled enough to play around every possibility, instead of having just a direct answer to them. And Crossout, right now, in a Snake Eye format, it does not only hit non-engine, like Entraps, and not only Board Breaker, because people are gonna play one talent per side, but it also hits engine. So right now, the card is very scary. And I mean, if they don't limit it now, they are never gonna limit it. Because like it makes sense right now, and it's gonna be an issue in the future formats when you're gonna have only 2-3 decks. So I think Crossout is definitely a card that should be limited if it's not banned. But like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like Tidal most likely is not gonna happen too. So I might actually remove the Tidal. Electromite, they can wait maybe. Is it realistic? Same as Meow Meow. I don't think it's realistic that they are gonna care about bringing back Prankits. Like, if I wanna be really real with you guys, like I'm really trying to make this as realistic as possible. I think what they are trying right now is trying to make the game more playable. For Engage, I don't really care about it. It's gonna stay at 2. Like, it's fine. Reasoning, talking about Reasoning, I think Reasoning and Gate might actually be semi-limited. Because we got the new Infernoid stuff coming out. I think it makes actually a lot of sense. It might actually do it. It might actually do it. Sorcerer, I think we already know that's gonna be like back for sure. Like, I don't know if they are gonna limit it. It's probably gonna limit them or limit to 1. I'm not sure like how they are gonna like do it. Like, having this card at 1, does it make any sense? Like, they can just literally limit it. But I think what they do usually is just they move from the ban section to limited to 1 and then they go back to 3. Like, I don't really understand this process, to be honest. Like, moving slowly the card from ban to limited to 1 when can be easily unlimited. Like, I really don't get this process. Change of Heart can be back, because we have mind control. Talking about pre-prep, kind of a way to, like, just to hit Voiceless Voice that's gonna have new support in the future. Like, just a way to hit the deck. I was thinking about maybe pre-prep might be it, because it doesn't kill the deck. They're gonna get new support anyways. I just don't want to give them too much stuff to work with, if that makes sense. Like, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, I wanna hit, like, I wanna try to hit the deck without actually doing anything to the deck. It's not like anything, but it's like it's a slap on the wrist, like, if that makes sense. The deck is not even like that good in my opinion right now. But maybe they are not gonna care about it. Pre-prep is broken though. Pre-prep is genuinely broken. They might actually limit it. I think the card is genuinely broken. I think the card is genuinely broken. Pre-prep, like we discussed about it. Unicorn should be definitely hit in a way. Like, there is no way this card can stay. Like, it should be at 1. I'll be real with you. I don't care. I'll put this card back at 1. RP is fine at 1. I'm sorry, bro. I played too much Master Duel. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I played too much Master Duel in those days. Like, you have to understand how bad my mental is right now. So, hear me out. I think ARP is back. Like, ARP, we got what we wanted. We got what we wanted. We can get it back at 2. And it's probably fine. ARP is fine at 2. Like, is Konami gonna do it? I don't think they're gonna do it. I'll be real with you. I don't think they're gonna do it. Like, if I wanna be realistic, people already got what they wanted. And I think it's fine. For Apollosa, let's talk about Apollosa for a second, okay? Like, it's actually the real issue. I think if you are not able to play through a Snake Eye board, and you are not able to play through a Fire King board, it's because of Apollosa. So hear me out. So what I was thinking is, the real issues why you're not able to play around, like you're not able to play into a fighting board, and the real issues why you're not able to play through a Snake Eye board is cause of Apollousa. There are so many lines that involve Apollousa, that plays around Nibiru, and stuff like that. Like, in my opinion, the real issue is not Linkuribo, because Linkuribo, like, in my opinion, it's healthy for the game. Like, it actually involves interactions. I don't like cards that do not, like, give you interaction. Because you can play around stuff with Linkuribo. Apollousa is just like a negate. Like, you see the cards, you activate the card, you negate. I don't like these kinds of, like, playstyle, if that makes sense. I think a card like Apollousa is the issue of the deck. But, like, they are not gonna do it. Like, I was literally, like, explaining it. What they should do with Apollousa, but they are not gonna do it. So, personally speaking, the card is the issue. Like, right now, if you think about Snake Eye, if you think about Fire King, if you think about the meta decks right now, the issue is Apollousa. Like, their access to Apollousa. Because they are able to spam so many bodies that Apollousa, like, it's very easy to make. And how they do play, and that's how they do play around stuff. Right? If they don't use Apollousa, they need to go for a double Princess line. Anyways. After saying that, I don't think Apollousa is gonna beat it. Personally speaking, though, I think that Apollousa should beat, because it's actually the issue of the deck. Then we can go over, like, the Beatrice, Rollback, and Mayakashi. I don't think they are actually a threat right now for the game, which means they're gonna stay free. And that's my ban list prediction. I think I try to be as fair as possible. I try to do my best and try to read the mind of Konami on what they could possibly do. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess, like, if they free Kirin, it's gonna be back at 1. If they free, like, a Masterpiece, it's gonna be back at 1, because they usually do it. Change of Heart, what, is gonna be back at 2. And Terror Top is gonna be back at 3. This is the final result of me going over a possible ban list. Hope you guys liked it. If you have a different opinion, please comment in the comment section of the YouTube video and let me know what you think about this ban list. Am I right? Am I wrong? Why am I wrong? Why am I right? I guess if I'm right, I know about it. So I guess you don't have to comment if I'm right. But, like, let me know if you think I'm wrong, I guess. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Yo, piece of shit. I know that you skipped the video. Go back to the fucking step number 1 and watch the entire video. Okay? For you who skipped the video to the very end in order to see, like, the Forbidden Limited and Semi-Limited section, and you didn't watch the entire video, I hope you break in a bubble. Okay? 10 years of bad draws for you skipping the video. Now go back to the step, now go back to the step number 1 and watch the fucking video. And leave a, you know, like, you can leave a sub. And, like, so you can have the bell notification every time I post a new video. Okay, that should be fine now.